Another step, intellectual decolonization. You can tell, I don't know if you can tell me, and that's why we're having those meetings. That's what basically you're doing. You intellectually decolonizing. Just try to think about your education from kindergarten all the way to your master's. How much of it was about you and your ancestry and your reality? How much of it was it? No. What did you learn? All of the things that you learned were designed to present to you a certain cultural way of thinking, negating your own real experience, your own core, its essence, that will have made help you to be more independent in the thinking sense. And that is why you were quick enough, like when you found my flyer there at the university and saw my work on YouTube. You were quick enough to say, I really want to work with you because there are things that I need to work out. So you really have to sit with yourself and ask yourself, what pushed you to do that? What motivated you to do that? Really, that is a question you have to sit and answer. Because there is something inside of you that was talking to you. Like that something is wrong. You want to make it right. So and you've embarked now in that journey. Since you and I have been working maybe a little over 2 years now or so, I don't remember. But you can now see, if you look back at you 2 years ago and at you today, you can see exactly where your thinking process is going, where your self-determination is going, where your understanding of the culture you're living in is, and how you relate to it. You can begin to see that. You can begin to apprehend that. So in a way, I have guided you into the Eurocenter, Western America, Euro-Americo, all of that, the same people, center cultural asili, so that you can actually see the moving force of the people who have made it a goal to subjugate a group of people. So intellectually, you've been decolonizing for 2 years, and maybe before that, before you even met me, but it just intensified with our meetings and the material that we discuss and the different way of really looking at these things. This is what the work she's doing. That is where she's going with this work, in combination with the other books that we read. It's okay. So you need to do that. It's a prerequisite for the creation of successful political decolonization and cultural reconstruction strategies. You must reconstruct your cultural mindset. So this is actually important. Europe's political imperialistic success, because this first page actually is the whole thing that is important. All the rest of the introduction is basically explaining some of the concept that we already saw in the glossary, and a few things that they need to do. But this first page of the introduction is important, especially this paragraph that I'm reading, for you to really understand basically the book. And it's a pretty substantial book. It's a big book, 600 plus pages. Okay. So, and she says, Europe's political imperialistic success can be accredited not to so much to superior military might as to weapon of culture. This is important. I always make that case to people. The former ensures more immediate control but requires continual physical force for the maintenance of power, while the latter succeeds in long-lasting dominance that enlists the cooperation of its victims, pacification of the will. So this is crucial. I always told people when, like they were like, oh, how come, European, dominated Africans so easily, blah, 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 blah. Yes, they did have the military that was superior. They did have the weapons and all that. That was superior. Yes, but you cannot say it's only based on those technologically advanced weapons that they subdued Africa. I disagree. I completely disagree. I always tell people, if they had only come into Africa with their more advanced weapons and everything, and only relied on them, it would have been very, very, very difficult for them to take over Africa. Because even though we still use some kind of archaic weaponry, but we still had the force of nature. We were still so connected with nature that we use nature against them. In many ways, could America, with all its advanced weapon, did they win in Vietnam? No. What did the Vietnamese have? Nothing. But they had the culture, they had the land, they had the strategy. They used. I don't know how many movies you saw in American adventure in Vietnam. You can understand what I mean. The Viet Cong and Viet Minh and all those old people, and the traps that they will put in the middle of the forest and kill like so many American soldiers, and like there's nothing America could do. America could not win that war. Okay, they had the nuclear weapon, could have wiped out everything, but still, mano a mano, they couldn't win it. But were the Vietnamese superior? No, America was superior in terms of weapons, but they couldn't win that war. So that's just an example. So that's why I tell people, no, Africans, if it was just only based on European weaponry, they could have not taken over Africa, because there were ways that we were using nature against them. But they understood. The European understood something. They understood the only way we can dominate those people is culturally. And what was at the heart of African, what is the African cultural asili? Spirituality. They got it. If you want to subdue an African, think in terms of spirituality and belief system. You will win any day, anytime. They understood that we had a believing mindset. We believed in the gods, in the spirit, and all that. And then they penetrated through that with their missionaries that they sent over there to spread the gospel of the Lord and all that kind of crap. And then through that they started controlling our belief system, beginning to condemn our original beliefs, calling it the devil, the Satan's ways, and we need to turn to God and go confess to the priest, who will now go tell the European generals what our people were fomenting against them and be killed afterward. So religion is not neutral. Western religion and Christianity and all that is not neutral. Skilled, that religion has skilled like you can't even believe. Anyway, so, and then they penetrated into the culture for a long-lasting dominance. And when they control spirituality and the belief system, now they started saying that they will educate us because we were savages that needed civilization, when they actually took it from us. But they say we needed civilization, so they were educated. That is how academia started infiltrating our minds, and therefore they could control our thinking, they could control our speaking, they could control everything. And that's how we gave to them our core, our essence, and inherited the place we are today. So that is what she's saying here, and it's long lasting. See how long they've been dominating, because they didn't have to be maintaining it from the military. They just maintaining it from faith, Like if you go to Africa, like Africa is the continent of the future in terms of religion. Those same people who brought out the Bible, do they believe in that God that they brought us? No. Atheism in Europe and America is at all-time high. How is it that they brought that Bible to us and that God to us and now begin to deny their own God?